How important is that for you as a kid to have an adult that you can trust and that you can talk with and communicate with?
I have like second moms. There's so many parents that I can go to, but like Sharon and Amanda, my two like other moms, are just like, it's really important for me because it feels that I'm supported and stuff.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have interviewed CEOs and Olympic athletes and high achievers and sports nutritionists, everybody, New York Times bestselling authors. But I have to say that today's guest is someone that I've wanted to sit down with for a very, very long time. And I think she's also wanted to sit down with me. And she just finished 5th grade and she's moving on to middle school. And she is one of the funniest people that I know, and that would be my daughter, Haiden. And I am so excited to have her here because today's episode is basically about capturing the moments that before things speed up and remembering those times. And you're at a point in your life right now that life is going to start to go fast. And I want to dive deep into that and your feelings. And I'm so glad that you wanted to actually be here today, babe.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, Dad.
Oh, it just took a little bit, didn't it?
Well, you're talking, so.
Oh, that's true. She's smart and she's smarty as well. So I love that. Well, how excited are you to move on to middle school?
I'm very excited. Like, I'm excited to have more responsibilities and to be a little bit more free with my schedule.
Okay, because that's important because you're leaving elementary school,
Yes.
which is up to 5th grade for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing that you're going to miss most about elementary school?
I do really like recess because I get to like hang out with my friends and chill around like in the shade of trees, and like we get to gossip and stuff. And we don't really get a lot of time to do that in middle school, but it's okay.
But in middle school, I've been told, and you told me, that you actually get to sit with your friends.
Yes, in middle school, you get to like actually choose who you want to sit with, and I think they're like circle tables that you get to like go
Sit around?
Yeah.
Well, because everything is assigned at your school, right? At your elementary school.
Yeah, well, it's like a 50% chance if they let you go sit with someone else. But
Okay.
I think they're trying to like keep everyone like
Basically included?
yeah, basically
Okay.
yeah, like keeping them included in middle school. It's like some people might feel left out, but it's like you want to sit with your friends, and I feel like kind of they're holding back relationships like of being made if like in elementary school. So I'm excited to move on. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, but you're moving on, and you're also going to get a big group of different teachers. So that brings a question to me, like, who is a teacher that has impacted you the most at your elementary school that you are leaving behind?
There is so many teachers that I've had over the years that I love, but I will mention 2 today.
Okay.
The first one is Mrs. Ramsey. She's always believed in me, and she's like, just when I walked into the room on the first day, like I saw her and I was like, oh, I'm going to connect with this person. Like she's just like one of my favorite teachers of all time.
But she's not actually your main teacher. She was just like,
No, I only got her for a little bit of time because we rotated like middle school, but only for reading and writing. And so I rotated to reading, and she just made me feel welcome in her class.
is there something that she did that was able to connect with you better than other teachers? Like, if you were to say that there was a special thing that teacher did for you, like, what was it? Was it like she hugged you, or like she gave you an A+ because you deserved it? Or was there something that she did?
I feel like all teachers are always like so kind to me and like believe in me, but like she went to the 3% edge.
Uh-huh.
And
How did she do that? Oh, you're interesting me on this one now. I love that. See, we talk about that all the time at our home, but it's like for me to hear it from you, what a teacher does. That's what did she do?
She's just like, she's always like, I'm so excited to see you, and like you're always like a good part of my day, and I'm like, I felt very welcomed.
Uh-huh.
And I just like, man, I love this teacher.
Oh, that's a big shout out to her. And I know that you talk highly about her and all the other teachers as well.
Love you, Miss Ramsey.
Good shout out. But it is. I think you're right. I think it's the teachers that specifically make you feel welcome.
Yes.
And like you belong to it. And I think that's awesome. I love that you brought the 3 to 5% on it. I love that. Who's your second?
I got to bring my principal into this. Miss Teskey. She is just one of the best principals I've ever had. She like, I could go into her room, talk to her about anything, and she'd be open to listen. And like, she is just like, I love her so much. And like, she always.
But you're not going to her room because you're in trouble.
No, because I sometimes just get called down to like just be like, hey, you know.
The principal's just gossiping with you. That's awesome. Okay, so and in fact,
I was even principal for the day.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yes,
okay, tell me about that. How did you?
That's when I got to like do the juicy stuff about the school.
Okay,
but I called people down and I made up these like crazy scenarios, like you're in trouble for walking your pigeon. Like pigeons are illegal in the United States.
To walk in school.
Yes. Okay. And it's just like, it was so fun having the like power for a day.
But that's something that you won, right?
Yeah.
And so you were able to play principal at your elementary school at Liberty Lake.
Yeah, I got like front row seats to the talent show and like this is a really special day. And Miss Teskey like got me like a grande pink drink and like
that's
got
a big life. That's a big Starbucks shout out on that one. Okay, and that is your favorite. Is that your favorite thing at Starbucks?
Oh, I love the pink drink.
How special do you feel when you get to go to Starbucks and actually get that? Because you don't get it all the time. It's like a special occasion.
When I walk in, like all the like people already like know my order and they're always like, "Hey, Haiden." I'm like, "Hi," and I feel like I just go in and then they're like, "Okay, yeah, you got the grande pink drink." Okay, like, yeah.
And do you love when you go in there and you see all your friends? Because you kind of know a lot of people in our community at Liberty Lake. And does that feel like kind of a cool little spot to hang out? Oh, yeah. It's when I walk in, like, I see, like, a lot of my friends and you get to, like, hang out on the big puffy couches and, like, you get to order your drink, talk for a while. It's, like, a really, really nice place to chill out. See, you don't remember like old school Barnes and Noble or anything like that, bookstores, but you could go and you could get a book and you could bring your coffee and sit down and read. Yeah. And that's kind of like, I think what Starbucks has kind of gone towards, but without the books, but you can bring your own book, right? Yeah. You and your brother bring things in when mom and I go in there to work, right? Okay. What are you most looking forward to going to middle school? Like, this is going to be a big transition for you. Is there something super exciting to go to middle school? I'm really excited to have more than one teacher. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm excited to learn more things, and I really want to get into like this advanced, like group. Placement of and school. So yeah, and I have a lot of friends in 6th grade, and everyone says like, oh, it's just like, just try your best and stuff. And I'm like, I really want to feel how it like feels to be in 6th grade. And then I'll tell my brother that just try your best. From your experience. Yes. What are you most terrified about? Lockers. Tell me more. Lockers, always, they've just been like these big block things and that like people can put glitter bombs in and like pass you weird notes. And it's like, if you leave your lunch in there for too long, then it gets like mushy, and it's like, and the little key thing, it's like, nope, no, I don't like that. What do you think would make it easier for your lock mechanism? Like, do you think practicing with a lock? Oh yeah, I'm not like scared or anything, but it's just like I'm scared that I'm gonna forget what my code is for my lock thing, and everyone's gonna be like, why don't you remember your code, Haiden? I'm like, sorry, I just forget. I just don't know. Well, I will reveal to you that when I was in junior high, I remember in PE, we had our own locks, right? And I forgot the lock or the code. and I didn't know what it was. And so I had to go have the PE teacher go and break the lock. Right. And so cut it. And so I had to pay for that lock. Not with a hammer. No, with just clippers, and they clipped it. But I forgot over just winter break or whether it was summer break. I don't remember what it was, but you would be okay if you forgot your code. So don't worry about that is basically what I'm saying. But let's talk about junior high or middle school. And that is that most of my best friends in my entire life is when I met them in middle school. And so you're about to go into that chapter where you could potentially meet a ton of lifelong friends. But you also have friends from elementary school. And if I was to ask you what makes a good friend to you, what would that be? And who would that be?
I have so many friends. I don't have like a best friend. I mean, like I love all my friends equally, but I think I'll talk about one friend that I really, really have connected with. Like, she makes a really good friend just because, like, if I went to my, like, this school, like, just crazy and, like, all, like,
your
messed
hair
up
crazy
and, like,
and stuff,
and, like, she wouldn't make fun of me or be, like, point a finger or gossip about me. Like, she'd always be like, hey, do you want me to help with that? Like, she'd be able to, like, help and not be mean about it. And she also just, like, is always up to doing crazy things and, like, just along for the road, and she's connected with our family so much and, like, just is kind of part of our family now. And I just love Hallie for that. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, Hallie's a really good friend, and that what makes a good, like, all of my friends have, like, a different, like, connection. Like,
to you.
Yeah, to me. And I, like, have different ways of connecting with them, and they all, like, are very nice. Like, they believe in me. They like who I am. Like, like,
they don't judge you.
Yeah, they don't judge me. Like, that's what makes, like, a good friend, that you can be like, okay, homie.
Okay, homie. But what is your story with Hallie? How did you meet Hallie, and what made her stand out? When
we moved here from Seattle, it's just, like, I was this, like, little skinny kid, and, like, I just finished first grade because I was only there for, like, 2 weeks, and I got into second grade, and it was just, like, the end of the first day, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go home, watch some Cobra Kai and eat Skittles. But it's just like, I feel this little tap on my backpack, and I'm like, and I always make fun of her for this. It's just like how she met me, and her voice is just like this. She was like, I like your backpack. And, like, I don't think she did, but that was like, Hallie didn't know anyone back then. And it was like, she probably didn't like my backpack, but I was like, thank you. And, like, ever since, we've just been, like, best friends.
Oh, and you guys support each other, and you're there for each other. And it's like, she's one of those friends that she'll go to your games and you'll go to hers, and you guys lift each other up, and you're just like the greatest cheerleaders. And that is, Mom and I love to see that with friends. And I this is a secret to parents, like, let your kids talk in the back seat and just listen to them. Don't don't really supervise or judge them, but just listen. And you and Hallie just talk. And it's one of the coolest things to hear you two communicate and converse about, like, what happens at school. You don't sound like a Peanuts character from Charlie Brown, but it's like you guys just talk and you open up. And I think that's so special, and that you support each other. And because she's a really good volleyball player, you're a really good soccer player, but you guys come together and you have so much in common.
Yeah, but except, like, and it's really cool to have an older and taller friend. Like, I was like, when people are scared of Hallie, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Hallie does have you by a foot, I think. I think she did. And my childhood best friend, Adam, I mean, he's probably 9 inches taller than me. I think, well, maybe he's like 6 inches taller than I am. He's tall. I used to surround myself around tall friends too.
Hallie is like,
she is tall.
Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, it's just like, I can just, like, we can walk into a room and people are like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's Hallie.
That's my friend.
That's
I felt the same way, kid. I love that. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. Okay. So that's how you connected with Hallie, and you guys created this special bond, and you're able to connect with your friends because they lift you up and they support you. But what about, like, when somebody feels left out? When you see somebody feeling left out, or like they're not a part of your group, what do you do personally to include them?
Well, they are there is 2 different ways that I can do this, but like I go up to them and I'm like, hey, you want to come hang out? We're going to all play like soccer over by the field. And if they come, great. And like, if they don't, like, okay. Like, and sometimes people are having a bad day and like like they're just there and sometimes people just need space.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I ask them and they say, no, I'm good, like I would just let them chill, and someone else is like, we should include them. I was like, no, they need some space right now. They already, but I do want to include people, and like whenever someone's like, hey, can we hang out with you? And we're like, yeah, of course.
It's more fun together, right?
Yeah. And it's like our group is getting bigger because of that.
Oh, I love that. So we travel as a family all the time.
Yeah.
And we travel internationally,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what it feels like to be an outsider or someone who doesn't speak the language. Like when you meet people that don't speak the same language that you do, AKA English, what do you do? Because Mom and I have seen this with you, like how you include people who might not speak your language or might not have the same background or something. So what do you do as an 11-year-old to connect with somebody who might not speak or have the same background as you?
There's an episode in Bluey. We love Bluey. Like there's an episode in Bluey, and it's like she goes on a camping trip and she's with she meets like this French dog, and it's like they communicate by being like, oh, come on, let's go over here, and like, oh yeah, like, and by drawing and stuff, like, and like hand motions. And I met like a little Mexican girl, and she spoke Spanish, and I didn't like know Spanish.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she was like, hola. And I was like, I mean, I know a lot of Spanish, like, yeah, but I was just like, and whenever like she said something that sounded like a question, I'd say like, sí, or like, I just kind of like, she was into me though. Like she was just like happy, and sometimes like you don't have to talk to communicate. Like
nonverbal
feelings are pretty like.
Well, and you've mentioned to me in the past that when you listen to someone, you hear their intonation of how things go up, and you assume that maybe they're asking you a question.
Yeah.
Because it is nonverbal, right? It's like 70% nonverbal, that you can communicate with somebody else even if you don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
And you do a superb job at that. And when we were in Japan, you and Dax, Mom and I watched you on the beach, and you guys connected with this little Japanese boy. Or was it a little girl? I don't remember. There were a couple kids there with you.
Know.
But we were on the beach, and you guys just like had the heyday at the beach with each other, and you didn't even speak Japanese. Well, you know a few Japanese sentences because you studied Duolingo for a while before we went to Japan, right? So you make them feel comfortable, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, obviously. What is the most fun thing that we do as a family, would you say?
I love going on trips.
Okay.
Like what you said, like I love going on trips. I love the hotels. I love the food. I love that there's no responsibilities, and I love pools. Like it's really cool. Like just to be like, I get to go on a trip now and just leave everything behind. When you go like to another country, it's like you're stepping into like another world, and you're kind of leaving your world behind, making memories in this world, and then going back to your world.
Oh, that's special. Okay. Where do you want to go next? What's on Hayden's bucket list? Iceland.
I really want to go to Iceland. I wanted to see the Northern Lights in Iceland.
Okay. And did Mom say that we're going to go to Iceland possibly here in the future? Is that what she said?
I think she did say, yeah, we were going to go with our friends, the Murphys.
That was a major, like, calling them out on something. So, Murphys, you better be going to Iceland with us, apparently. Sorry, Chad and Amanda, but yes, apparently we're going to go to Iceland.
We might. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
Okay, but that's on your wish list. That's on your bucket list.
Yes.
Where else would you like to go? And it doesn't need to be the summer, but, like, is there some place that you really want to visit that looks interesting to you?
I visited this place like 8 times, Hawaii. I love Hawaii, and it's like I beg everyone to go to Hawaii. Like the palm trees, like I can run around without any shoes on and like jump in the pool, and like the turtles. Like I love Hawaii.
You do?
Yeah.
And your brother has never gone, so we do have to
it's
remedy
like,
that.
Oh, and I want to go on a Disney cruise or a cruise or any kind of cruise, anything with my grandma.
With your grandma, just the two of you and not the rest of the family?
All the family
all
and with
the
my
family.
grandma.
Okay, why? What do you remember? Because we were lucky enough to be able to do that. What was so special about that as a memory?
That my grandma learned that she loved blueberry ice cream. That's like the first memory that comes to me when we think about going on a Disney cruise, and it's like, yep.
So you do remember it.
Yeah, and she was like so happy, and like we got to wake up at like 6 a.m., watch Disney cartoons, and like I was like a little girl, and like it was just we got a fruit platter delivered to us with whipped cream, and like they knocked on our door and it was like, here's your fruit platter, and we had this like little room. I mean, it was like between rooms, I think, and it was just like this little couch and like a mini TV, and Grandma was just like such a good sport about it. She was like, okay, let's go.
Do you remember that trip? Other than just those little things, at that age, I mean, that was 6 years ago. Do you remember it well enough?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I remember going to like this restaurant that was the Princess and the Frog themed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Well, and okay, so you want to go again, but we are lucky that we get to travel a lot, right?
Yeah,
and so I've just, a lot of my friends are always wondering, like, do your kids actually enjoy the experience? Do they remember the experience?
Well, for me, I remember it because I'm at that age where it's like I can remember like these things and like keep them with me. My brother, like, there's like a certain age point where it's like if you're a little bit like younger, then it still will be fun, but you won't remember, and the memories are like really cool. And I like going at this age because it's like way more special for me because I get to stay up later, do things better, like more than I was when I was little. So yeah.
What was your favorite memory of going to Japan last time?
The ramen was actually decent, and I don't love ramen, but like when I went to Japan, like the ramen was like pretty good. Because we would get like the store bought ramen, and it's not my favorite, but like
it does taste a little different. Cup of noodle is quite different than Japanese ramen.
Yeah.
What are some of the greatest experiences that we were able to do when we were there that you enjoyed?
Going to Japan. And you're just like nagging me about this, but I did like seeing you on stage. That was awesome. Speaking
at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, I loved going to Disneyland with my cousins, and we all went down like the Splash Mountain, and I sat next to like my cousin's friends, and it was like so fun. Just like everyone was on like the toboggan thing, and we were just like we took the photo, and I was just like freaking out. And it was so fun. Do you like
those pictures, like when they take them?
Yes. Okay. And it's like if I would go back to there, I would like. It was such a fun time. We got like churros and like all this like good stuff, and everybody was just like along for the ride, and it was just like that's what is like fun.
Was it scary for you to go internationally, or did you feel safe traveling whenever we go? But you also had Dad's host sister there, Risa.
Oh, I love Risa.
So what would you suggest to other families wanting to go? What would you do to make it easy for them?
Japan?
Oh, either Japan or wherever we've been, yeah. Is there something that puts you at ease when we travel as a family?
Knowing a little bit of the language, if you just use like Google Translator, I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to the culture. But I mean, I get that it's hard sometimes, but it's like, if you know a little bit, you kind of, and you like speak that word like arigato gozaimasu, and like you can actually feel like
you're trying.
Yeah, and it's like you feel kind of accepted, and if you can understand like konnichiwa and stuff like that in Japanese, like you feel kind of like, okay, I got this. Like learning the language is a big part about going to another country. And like you feel accepted, like in Liberty Lake, everyone speaks English, and you're just like all accepted. And like I'm just like talking to you right now. I don't even have to think about talking. I'm just like going, but when you go to another country and you don't really know, like
that language.
That language, you feel kind of like, oh, I don't like this feeling.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But then let's talk about like school. I mean, it's like learning schoolwork is tough too. Like learning math is difficult. And once you master that specific skill or kind of math, you move on to the next one and it becomes hard again.
Yes.
And that's what languages are as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel like is that one of the most scary things coming up is like continuously learning, or are you excited to continuously learn?
Sometimes I want to stay on the same subject because I kind of feel like confident in that subject, but then it's like we move on to the next one and I'm at the bottom again. It's like
you start over.
Yeah.
I love that. What is something that you've done late? We're going to be right back after a word from our sponsor.
After a car accident, insurance companies will take every shot they can to leave you with nothing. But at Dubin Law, the game isn't over until you get the money you deserve. So call Dubin Law and add us to your roster today.
You start over.
Yeah.
I love that. What is something that you've done lately that you feel that you're most proud of?
There are a lot of things, but I finished 5th grade, as you said, like you said. And when I finished 5th grade, we all went out through the tunnel, and all of my 4th grade friends, and my 3rd grade friends.
This is like a transition where you're going from 5th grade to middle
goodbye,
school.
You're leaving the school and you're going to 5th grade. And
I didn't have that when I was going on to junior high, aka middle school.
And everyone I knew was there and was with at the tunnel at the end, and it was like I was going I was going to 6th grade, and I felt like I finished 5th grade. Like, this is like, yes.
You did. And Mom and I are proud of you, but you should be proud of yourself for that. And in all seriousness.
This year usually, this year was the year that went super fast.
I bet because you're going to transition right away to the bigger school, right?
What were you saying?
Well, I was going to say that Mom and I, we talk about these little things that you and your brother do all the time and that make us proud. And one of the biggest things that make us proud is when you act a certain way and you show up a certain way when you don't think other people are watching you. And it came to us that we realized that you gave a thank you card, a special thank you card to the custodian at Liberty Lake, Mr. Brett. And I know that because the principal let us know, and Mr. Brett took me into his little office and he showed me the card that you wrote. And Mom and I didn't know that you did that. And you made an absolute special day for someone. And he showed it to his wife and she was so proud. And Mom and I could not be more proud of you on the way that you act and you treat other people, kid, because the way that you act when you don't think that we're watching really means a lot to us. And that is one of the biggest transition changes that I've seen you make over these years, kid, that I'm so proud of you because you act a certain way even when people aren't looking at you. And Mom and I couldn't be more proud of you because it shows us that you're becoming responsible and you care about other people and you make people feel special. And I think that's a great thing to do, to make other people feel that magical experience. And you did it. You knocked it out of the park, kid. So I'm proud of you on that one for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What is it that do you feel is something that is easier for you now, but it might have been hard at first? And would that translate to going to middle school? So basically, is there something that was hard at first for you to do as a 10 or 11-year-old, but now it's kind of easy because you put the repetitions in and you practice it?
I think math is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I say that I love math, and I do. It's just sometimes it gets a little hard, and when things get hard, it's not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
But once you know how to do it, you feel like, yes, I know how to do it.
Well, but then you also said the other day, you were like, when you got a great grade, it made you realize that all that hard work that you put into it
Actually
really
paid
made a
off, yeah.
difference. Yes. And I looked over at Mom and was like, that's awesome. That is so cool, because you are going to have those big wins, but then you're also going to have like the little wins. And sometimes you will have those little setbacks where you don't get as good of a grade, but if you keep trying, you do get better, and you've done that. And I would say that one of the things that I've seen you grow in the most is your soccer skills, because that's something you're really, really good at. So tell me about soccer.
Soccer is so fun. It's like just a sport that I love. It's just like you kick a ball, and then you have to strategize like how you get it into the goal. And it's just like this big fun game for me. And it's like, I don't really care who wins. It's just like I get to like, it's so much fun when I'm on the field and like in my full jersey and like slick back, and it's like I score a goal. It's so fun, and like everyone jumps on me, and like soccer is super fun. And it's like a sport, and some sports like kids are forced to do. Like their parents are just like, come on, just like choose a sport, and they choose a sport for them, and they don't have fun doing it. Like soccer is like a sport that I chose, and like I have fun doing it, not like something that you guys chose.
But I have to ask a real personal question, and I don't want you to lie. Do you like it when Mom yells at you from the sideline and cheers you on at soccer?
Yes, I actually do.
She does. She's your greatest fan. She gets so into it.
Oh yeah, and it's like when someone's like being rude, she's like, like how dare you? Do not do that.
Yeah.
And it's like so fun to hear her go like, yeah, you got this, and that motivates me.
It's pretty encouraging.
Sometimes when I'm like stressed out and I'm like sweaty and I'm just like, and then she's like, come on, you got this. I'm like,
Gotcha.
like, do I?
You do though.
Yeah, I do.
But
it's
you
just
always pull it together, and you're always hustling. And it's like you're a natural leader, even though you may not be the best kicker. You might not be the fastest runner. You just organize everyone really well, and then you support everybody. And we're super proud of that. And I'm also proud of you because the World Cup's going on right now.
Oh, yes.
And when we watch
USA.
those games, Mom and I have to turn to you and ask, what on earth is going on?
That's something that I feel really confident in.
How awesome is it that you know more about something than your parents?
It's like, I know the game, and I know like how the play before it gets to real life. Like I know they're like, okay, this guy is probably going to pass to this person, and then they're going to try to shoot with their head. Seconds later, this guy passes to this person, and then they try to shoot with their head. It's just like, I know what to like expect because I've played the game for so long. And like, it's like, okay, left field, right field, back, defense, pass down, up, like all around. And it's like, go offense, do this, do la la la. And it's like, I know what those plays are. And you guys are just like, Haiden. And so it's really cool to like be like, yes, I know what this is.
That it is pretty neat to be able to watch TV or another game and tell us and give us a play-by-play.
The thing that I don't understand is baseball. I do not understand the game. I don't understand like 3 outs is like, I don't understand. And my brother actually, Dax, plays baseball, and he's like, he knows what it is. I mean, he doesn't really know, but like
he's learning.
Yeah, he's learning what the game is. But
and he's super excited about that, just like you were super excited about soccer. Yeah. And I think that goes to like, we let you choose something that you wanted to do, and you just ran with it because we didn't know anything, right? And so you're passionate about something that you enjoy, and we just supported you. And I think Dax is the same way with baseball. And it's all right, because if you're not playing the game, then it is harder to play, because I could not tell you anything about soccer. Offsides is, I'm starting to understand that concept just a little bit. Okay. But I only know things from Ted Lasso. That's what Mom and I always say. Like, that's it. Okay. But we're super proud of you for that. What is something, let's change gears here for a second. What is something that you wish Mom and I knew about being an 11-year-old? That maybe we've forgotten.
That it is hard to be a kid. Like sometimes, no offense, it's just like, sometimes you don't understand, like, why aren't you doing this? Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, kids are still, like, learning. And sometimes 11-year-olds get kind of like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, but sometimes, like, parents don't understand. Like, okay, they're still learning what to do, but they're still old, you know?
They're still old.
You're still old. I'm not saying, like, I'm young, but, like...
But I'm old.
Yeah, but, like, I'm young, but I'm old, if you know what I mean.
And I'm older.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What is a way that Mom and I are able to communicate with you to kind of get a better understanding? Is there something that we have done that helps communicate a little bit better? How do you like to be talked to? Because if we forget what it's like to be a kid sometimes, and we put a lot of responsibility on you, what is something that has worked well, that puts you at ease, and you're like, all right, they're at least trying to be a kid and understand?
When I'm telling you guys, like, what I feel, like, not saying anything helps. Yeah. No, don't do it right now.
Well, I was keeping quiet. I didn't want to say anything. All right, I love it.
No, but when, like...
Sometimes we just have to listen.
Yeah. Sometimes you guys just think it's, like, most helpful to just, like, blah,
like,
blurt out what you think that would help, because you know the right choices, and sometimes I don't, and I, like, need your help, but I need you to listen before you give me that. That
is a golden nugget of advice, especially to a parent, because you are old enough that we value your opinion, right? And we ask you all the time. We want to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling, because even if it's not what we agree with, at least we are starting to understand what you're thinking, right? And what your thought process is, because that's important to us. And I think that's like, let's go into school really quick. When they ask you to do a math problem and show your work, they want to know how you're figuring it out, right? Like, not that the answer is 4. How did you get to 4? Because
I did 5 minus 1 is 4, and then plus 8, and then, like, divided by 6, and, like, you know, you gotta, like, show your answer.
You want to show your answer, and that helps the teacher understand better how you're getting to your 4.
And it's kind of like them listening to you, except in, like, numbers. Like, okay, she did this, this, and this. Now I'm going to look at what she did. Okay, I'm going to take that and then get my advice. Okay, is she correct? Yeah, she is. So I'm going to give them a score.
I love that. Okay. And I think that completely encapsulates or makes it aware for us as a parent to be able to listen to you and give you different directions, but then also to hear your feedback, so that we want to know how you communicate and how you got to that 4, or what your currency is, because it's going to be different than for Mom and Dad. And it's our job to be able to listen and be there for you and support you. So I love that. And I will work on keeping my mouth shut more, because Mom's a better listener than I always want to fix things, and I'll work on that. I promise you. That'll be my goal. What is something that I have said to you, because I'm a motivational speaker, right? Like, I'm always talking, you always come in, and I'll have a conversation with you. You're like, Dad, I don't want to hear a speech. I don't want to hear a speech. I'm like, but I want to fix this, right? And so what is something that I have always done to you? And it could be something small or something that I say that does push you or remind you that you've got this.
You always say, like, you got this, kid. And that's what, like, makes me motivate. Like, okay, he has my back, and I'm like, I got this.
So that's your trigger.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just kid.
Yeah. Not a speech.
Not a speech. But you've said that, like, when you're at a cross country competition or something like that, you can hear me and Mom from the sidelines. And if I say kid, you know that I'm like, speaking directly to you.
I better, like,
up the ante.
Yeah, I better go.
Oh, all right. Well, let's switch gears and finish up with a couple little quick questions for you, okay?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Because you're going to look back at this and say, oh, it changed. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I do want to be a pilot or be a fashion designer.
Okay. All right. And Mom is pushing you to be a pilot because you can be anything you want. Mm-hmm.
Also, you get, like, free flying. So it's like.
That was a shout out for Alaska Airlines. Okay. All right. Why do you want to be a fashion designer?
I really like want to make some moolah, but also like I want to have my own like store, like Lululemon or Alexander McQueen, like those kind of types of clothes. Like it would be cool to like create my own
brand or image.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And it'd be like Haiden Stiley, the fashion designer, or like I could create my own like branding, like on the little tags, like it's like says like Lululemon or something like that, that I made.
Well, you can do that outside of fashion because you are your own brand, right? You are your greatest asset, kid. And no matter what you do, you're going to be able to brand that because you are authentic and you're genuine. And Mom and I are pushing you for you. And whatever it is that you end up doing, whether that's being a pilot or a fashion designer or a business owner, whatever it is, we're going to be so proud of you. We are. And we're going to push you on that. What is something that you want to learn to do now? Like an audacious goal that you want to achieve.
This is embarrassing, but I don't know how to do the splits. A lot of people don't, but I really want to be able to do the splits. I'm not that flexible.
Okay.
But I can do like a lot of gymnastics, but I really want to be able to like sit in the splits.
You have your front walkover or your back walkover. What do you call them? Like you got that. You're getting better.
Yeah.
Right?
My friend Faith is like so flexible and like can do anything, and it's just like I want to be able to do that too.
So you're practicing, right?
Yeah.
And you're stretching and you're practicing it. And then see, what's funny is that there was a time before you were born that I was a ninja and I could do the splits. And you kind of lose the splits if you don't practice it. So I know I was able to do the splits. And so I think that Mom and I have told you that we would do those with you to gain them back. Because Mom's pretty flexible still too, okay? So we will do that. So I'm going to keep you to that goal, all right? All right, next question is, if you could spend a day with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
People give this person so much like dirt, but I would totally go with Taylor Swift. Like she is like super awesome and like my idol. Like I don't know why people hate her. It's just like, are you jealous or like...
She's kind of a baddie, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you love, what's your favorite song from her?
I really, really like Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, or I like Bad Blood. I like those a lot. So, yeah. And
those are our car songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we drive, who sits shotgun in the passenger seat all the time?
My mom.
No. She's the driver.
Oh, you.
I'm the one because Mom gets car sick. And so I'm always in there. And whose song list do we listen to?
Mom's.
And yours.
And mine, yeah.
If I had a choice, what would we listen to?
90s, 80s, and whatever.
Okay, I love that. I love it. I will give you another big shout out, kid. And that is that I love when another dad comes up to me and says, your kid knows all these 80s songs. Like she knows Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard and The Cult.
Not by choice.
That's brutal. I love it. All right, fair enough. But it's good music. Come on. God, that was a fake laugh. I could see it. Oh my gosh. Well, I love that you at least pity me slightly and enjoy my music. But you do know the words. And yes. I will give you kudos for that because you do. You master the words and you're really, really good at that. What makes you most happy?
Like you said, like we go on travel, just like to be on the airplane, like sleeping. Like I love to just like and watch TV. Like I love.
I was like, you don't like to go on an airplane and sleep.
And like you get to Japan at like 3 a.m. and like my brother and I are just like so happy to be able to like stay up late, and it's just like so much fun.
Well, okay,
and you get to watch like 8 hours of screen time, like the most we've ever had.
Yeah, you don't get that kind of screen time at the helm, and you know that we are a Star Wars family by default because I'm a Star Wars fan, and that is where Dax was introduced to Mandalorian, and Mom and I didn't know that he was watching Mandalorian by himself in his seat because he had his own TV.
We were, I'll tell a quick story, but we were going to Japan, and I was watching, like, they get, on the plane, you get like a little screen with like a little remote, and it was like, awesome. Shout out to Japan
JAL,
JAL. But like, and the seats kind of went back. You got your own blanket. And I was just like chilling, watching my like Finding Nemo, you know, and like I see over like knives, guns, like
blasters,
death, and I'm like, what is he watching? And he's just like,
he was a
and
happy
I was like, what
camper.
are you watching? And then they're like, oh, that's Mandalorian. Like that's the really inappropriate, like cussing, like death stuff. And I'm like, I'm just gonna
keep watching Finding Nemo. That's totally
Yes.
fine. He got away with that for sure. What is the coolest thing about mom?
She's a baddie. Like she's fierce. She doesn't take any like bad stuff from anybody. She's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like mom is like my other idol. Like she's just like, and not just like a baddie and like mom. Like she's a great mom and she's like buff. My mom's buff.
She is buff. She is in shape.
Yeah, you should agree with that.
I totally agree with that. And she is so proud of you, Haiden. She is so proud of you. And she is a great parent. And I hope you're going to look back and say, man, my mom really was a great mom, because she cares so much about you and Dax. But it's like, she's so proud of you. And that you just mentioned something that I do want to bring in. And that is that I also feel very lucky that you have other people in your life, like parents, other friends, parents, that you're close to, and you have relationships with those people. And like, how important is that for you as a kid to have an adult that you can trust and that you can talk with and communicate with? How important is that to you?
It's like very important. It's not like just teachers. It's like people outside of school, like our friends' moms. Like I have like second moms like that I can go to, and like I have like there's so many parents that I can go to, but like Sharon and Amanda, my two like other moms, are just like it's really important for me because it feels that I'm supported and stuff. So yeah.
Well, it helps you confidence-wise to know that there's somebody else special that you can talk to, and a lot of people aren't lucky to have that. And you also have a grandma who you have
grandma,
that you have a special relationship to with too.
Okay, with this, like, I get that you guys try to understand my brother and I fighting, but
which is constant.
Yes, you are an only child. You don't have anyone.
True.
My mom is the baby, and like my grandma is the older sibling, and I'm the older sibling, and she gets me. Like, we get to like. We know that we like to push and like, and like grandma's like, oh yeah, I get it. And mom, like I know that she tries to like understand me, but grandma knows what it's like. And like you sometimes get pushed around because you're the older
She
sibling.
does get you.
Oh yeah.
That's right. What's the coolest thing about your brother?
That he's like always, if I get hurt or something, he's always like gonna be the first one like ahead of you guys, like, okay, I'm gonna go tell them that she got hurt. I'm gonna bring her an ice pack. I'm gonna do like funny things to make her laugh. And he's just like, he's the person like that does that. Sometimes he can get a little crazy. Gotta calm him down. But he's like my hype man. It's like my little hype man.
I love that. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
I really like Princess Leia or R2-D2. R2-D2 is like so cool. Like he's just like chilling all the time, saving the universe.
Saving the universe, one beep at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
One
There you
little
go.
robot step at a time, or roll at a time.
Ooh, way to go on that one. I like that. And then what is something, this is my last question to you. What is something that you and I do together that has created a great bond and relationship with us that you look forward to?
Well, as you can see, we got our Cobra Kai shirts together, and I love watching Cobra Kai with you. And I just made you a Father's Day gift for Cobra Kai. That's our like love language. Like we can get Cobra Kai, and it's like Cobra Kai really.
And the Karate Kid series.
Yeah, and the Karate Kid. Like that's our like go-to, and it's like it really relates to like how I feel in life. And like life lessons and like things not to do and things to do, and like to be kind and like not be kind, and like, whoa, that's too much, and like you shouldn't do that, or language is a little much, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hear that more. But so I think that's really awesome. And it's like, I know actors from Cobra Kai,
Mm-hmm.
and
William Christopher Ford.
yes, I actually got a poster from
Mhm.
him, and he signed it, and that was the coolest. I actually felt like I was a part of like a real fan for Cobra Kai, and Johnny Lawrence is like one of my favorite characters too. He's just like this guy, just like trying to make life good, but he's drunk all the time. It's like
He
it's really,
falls on
really
hard
fun.
times, but he
Yes.
tries, doesn't he?
Yeah, Chosen is also
Mhm.
like really, really cool. And he's just like this dude, like, yep. And
Yuji.
he's changed so much from like the Karate Kid movies.
Mhm.
Because he was this like mean old dude, it's like mad at life, and now he's just like all sweet and kind.
It's kind of funny, huh? Like the
Yeah.
bad guys can teach you lessons as well, right? And and it's neat that we've had several of the characters like Sensei Ron Thomas and William Christopher Ford, and I'm keep trying to get Yuji to come on. And it's like, and it's open up to the other characters as well. But it's like, it's awesome to have these relationships with people because that's not who they are off screen.
No, but it's so funny to see them like know that they're always just like this chill person. When they get on there, they're like beep beep beep,
Yeah.
and it's like just like this mad like characteristic. They can like actors are so cool. Like they can hop into another like life and like, okay, this is my character. I'm mean. I'm sassy. I'm a show off, and like they can be like, no, like their actors are pretty cool.
Actors are pretty
Yeah.
cool. Well, I love doing that with you because that's something special that you and I get to share, and Mom lets us go do it. And you have things to do with Mom, and I have things to do with Dax. And it's like, it's so special to have that special time where there's something that connects. And these shirts, you actually got this for me for my birthday.
Yes.
And I mentioned that it was really awesome, kid, to get something for my birthday that you actually put thought behind. Right? Something that not only connected us, but that we both enjoy, and that I get to use and enjoy anytime. Like I can wear this shirt and it means so much to me, but not as much as you mean to me, and not as much as you mean to Mom. And we love you so much. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited for you to go into middle school and become the person that you're meant to be. And I don't know what that looks like yet, but this little girl in this picture, and if you're watching, I have a picture of the two of us, and this is about 5 years old. If you were to say anything to this little girl right here, what would you tell her?
I'm short.
You're only short because it was like you were young, like. But one day you're probably going to be a little taller. Do you think you're going to be taller than Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, because Mom's only 5'5" and a
Okay.
half.
Like you're tall.
I'm taller.
Ish.
Tallish, not Adam tall. And Hallie's probably going to take me too. She'll probably be taller. But we are so proud of you, kid.
Thanks.
I'm so proud to look at a picture like this. And this is one of my most favorite pictures of the two of us because it reminds me of an innocent time and for everybody to slow down
Times
and
are
enjoy.
still innocent.
Well, they are innocent, but it's like reminding ourselves, like, slow down and enjoy the moment because you're only going to be 6 years old once. You're only going to be 11 once, right? And I'm 49, right? Like that. We're only going to be our age one
15's
time.
a really big age for
15?
you. I know.
50 is coming up.
No,
What should
said
I do for my 50th?
15.
Oh, what should I do for my 50th?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I'll be thinking on that one. I will be thinking about it. We are so proud of you. And I'm so excited for what comes forward with you. Okay. And Mom and I love you very, very much.
thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
You're a rock star and you're like my favorite guest of all time.
That's just me.
I love you
Love you too,
very,
Dad.
very much. All right, kid.
Thank you, everybody.
If this episode brings you value or you know someone who could benefit from it, the best way to support the show is by sharing and subscribing. It's completely free and helps us reach more people. And if you have any questions, feedback, or guests you'd like me to interview, drop a comment while you're there. I'd love to hear from you. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in. And let's continue sharing optimism and positivity.